So I'm Irene, and I'm going to talk to you about chopped liver. Chopped liver is something that you probably said to. However, if you went to a French restaurant and they offered you pate, you would probably say yes. You probably have in the past. And so what I'm going to show you is that chopped liver and pate are made out of exactly the same things. We are starting today with duck livers. Many people use chicken livers. Duck livers are richer, have, to my mind, a more complex flavor, and your grandmother probably used them as well when she could. As usual with many of these things, you start with an onion that you chop finely and a few garlic cloves. Now, I can tell you a recipe for this, but truthfully, it's really a question of taste, personal taste. If you don't like the taste of garlic, don't use it. You do have to use onions, but how deeply you fry them, how golden you fry them is also a matter of taste, and frankly, I do them in schmaltz because, again, the flavor is much, much, much richer. I'm going to show you what I like and what many of you probably turn up your noses at, but we're going to test it with people and see exactly what they think. So out of exactly the same ingredients, we're going to make chopped liver, which is the Jewish thing, and pate, which is the French thing, and you will understand that they're made from precisely the same ingredients and are delicious. It's a lot easier to peel garlic if you smush it like that. And we're just going to let that sizzle. So these are duck livers, enough for pate and chopped liver. And you need to clean them. They often have little bits sticking to them, worth trimming those off. You can see this, for example, has quite a big chunk of connective tissue and fat. You don't really want to have that because connective tissue makes things tough. There's a nicely cleaned one, doesn't have any attachments to it. There, see? Nice. The way you prepare it for the pan is you dust it lightly with some flour, and the way I'll do it is I'll just put some flour into a bowl and dredge them gently. Add some pepper and some salt. And then you just simply dredge them like that lightly and drop them into the pan. And as you turn, you're starting to see that there's really no blood left. Now, if you were making this kosher, if you had kosher chicken livers to start with, but you will first grill them so that there's not a speck of blood. That's the way you prepare kosher chicken livers. Everything else is the same, identical. So we sauteed the onions and garlic. We added the schmaltz, goose fat, and the duck livers which we had cleaned. They have cooled down. I'm going to put them through the meat grinder. Chopped liver, chopped by hand. Now, you could have done it in the machine, but certain people like the idea of having it chopped by hand, so we're going to do it chopped by hand. And for chopped liver, as opposed to pate, grated hard-boiled eggs. Whoops. Okay, so chopped liver is chopped, we're chopping. And a little spoon to taste it now. It needs salt and some pepper and maybe little bit of sweet paprika. Now, as you saw, the texture of the chopped liver was choppy. The texture of this is pretty smooth. It still has a little texture to it. Same thing, but this is going to be pate, the other is chopped liver. But let's see how this tastes now. Try some brandy. Whoops! Can't hurt. Definitely can't hurt. Smells good. It definitely smells good.
And the texture is definitely much better.
Much improved. Okay, so we're going to put this in here. Okay, and now this is going to go into the fridge overnight because it will set up quite firmly. Okay, so the pate rested in the fridge overnight and it's now nicely set, and we're going to decorate it in the way that you would a fancy pate. And so I have here some gelatin, like a teaspoon and a half of gelatin for 100 ml, 4 ounces of water, and sliced figs. Essentially what you're using the jelly for is to create a surface for this to cling to and to give it a shine on top. So we're going to spread, whoops, okay, and just, these are not the prettiest figs. It probably is a better idea to choose your fruit more carefully, just so that it's pretty, because essentially it's the presentation that counts. And I'm going to try and spoon gelatin over the top. It's a little more set than I would have liked. Now if gelatin becomes too set, you can stick it in the microwave for 5 or 10 seconds, it will loosen up. Actually, okay, I have, if it's more liquid, you can just paint it on with a brush. There we go. That's going into the fridge. It's rather pretty looking. I think it'll look nice on the platter. So, as I said to you, pate and chopped liver, same ingredients, same thing, but here you have chopped liver in the traditional way with hard-boiled eggs chopped into it. Pate with figs, same duck livers, same procedure, same grinding. That you will pay a fortune for, and that you will pay a lot less for, that you might have turned up your nose at, that you would have said, oh yes please. However, it's the same thing. So do try and make it yourself. Do have it at home, do eat it, it's delicious. And we are actually serving it with some beet crackers for the chopped liver because it looks pretty, and some really dark pumpernickel bread for the pate, and of course little cucumbers, cornichons, very tasty. Enjoy.